We got a lot to cover in today's video, from stoning women for being impure to saints eating scabs and licking pus. Buckle your seatbelts, we'll be covering all this and more only in today's video. Starting off this countdown, we have polygamy. This is the practice of having one or more partner at the same time. Over the years, people's religious views on polygamy have changed. In the early 1840s, the leaders of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints practiced polygamy. They practiced this for more than half of the 19th century, and it was practiced publicly. It was widely accepted biblically around the world. And then the church's president, Joseph F. Smith, declared this practice forbidden. Anyone caught doing so was threatened. Nowadays, the practice is still against official policy for the church, but there are a number of people out there happily in polygamous relationships. Moving on to number 9, we have geocentrism. In 1663, Galileo thought that science was greater than God. He also said that the sun was the center of the universe and claimed that the earth moved around it, which the church did not like. They thought that God put earth as the center of the universe and that everything revolved around us, because God made earth special and powerful. Galileo was actually imprisoned and tortured for his contradicting views. Finally, hundreds of years later, the church was actually open-minded and decided to believe in science instead of what they thought was right. And boom, they discovered the truth. And at least they stopped torturing people with different views as them in regards to this. Moving on to number 8, we have menstruation. Leviticus 15:19 said, and I quote, "When a woman has her regular flow of blood, the impurity of her monthly period will last 7 days, and anyone who touches her will be unclean till evening. Anything she lies on during her period will be unclean, and anything she sits on will be unclean." So back in the day, when a woman was on her period, she would be sent to hide out in a hut on the outskirts of their town. There, they would stay for 7 days until the bleeding stopped. Some women found it relaxing to be isolated for 7 days and not having to do much, whereas others dreaded it and felt scared and cold and alone. Nowadays, obviously, women don't have to isolate when they're on their flow, but I believe that some villages in Ethiopia still have these huts and engage in these practices, but there are no more huts in Israel. Moving on to number 7, we have mixing wool and linen clothing. Leviticus 19:19 said, and I quote, "Ye shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind. Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed. Neither shall a garment mingled of linen and woolen come upon thee." Deuteronomy 22:11 said, "Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as of woolen and linen together." Now, this has been interpreted a number of different ways. One is that it was more of a metaphor and they didn't actually mean you couldn't mix the two fabrics. 2 is that they were referring to the priestly garments, because priests would wear outfits made of linen with a vest of wool over top. So that was preserved for priests only to wear. Lay people could not dress the same way. But this is a teaching that has faded over the years. Devout individuals might still follow this practice, others just carry on boldly, mixing and matching whatever. Coming in at number 6, we have the mixing of seeds. Deuteronomy 22:9 said, "You shall not sow your vineyard with a second kind of seed, else the crop from the seed you have sown and the yield of the vineyard may not be used." Meaning you can't put two different types of seeds together. Again, this is open to interpretation. Some say this is to honor God's role in creation. If you mix two types of seeds, it will interfere with the handiwork of God. Others think that it was meant for more of a guidance purpose, for if you do plant two different kinds of seeds in one spot, one may kill off the other or suck its nutrients out, you name it. This was a strict rule back in the day when people were out farming, and owning their crops. But nowadays, the odds of someone doing this are quite slim. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the holy saints. I hope you aren't eating right now because this might just make you lose your appetite. Back during the medieval times, female saints were known to lick the pus off of wounds and eat the scabs off of people with leprosy. Now, these individuals were shunned from society, but female saints like Saint Catherine would care for them by licking their pus and eating their scabs. It was seen as an act of humility and also a sign of their extreme holiness. I'm just glad that this isn't a thing anymore. Coming in at number 4, we have the sky burials. In Tibet, Buddhists used to partake in something known as the sky burial. It was said to be a way to send the soul of their deceased loved ones towards heaven. It involved dissecting the deceased bodies and then scattering the pieces of their bodies on the mountaintops to either be decomposed or to be consumed by birds or other wildlife. This was considered an act of generosity because they were providing food to sustain animals. It was also believed to help unite the deceased person with the sky or sacred realm. This practice has been outlawed and now can only be performed with the family's permission. In our third spot, we have the wedding night stoning. Deuteronomy 22:13-30 talks all about what happens if a bride is discovered to not be a virgin. Then she can be sentenced to death by stoning. And I quote, "If the charge that the bride was not a virgin of her wedding night is true, and no proof of the young woman's virginity can be found, she shall be brought to the door of her father's house, and there the men of her town shall stone her to death. She has done an outrageous thing in Israel by being promiscuous while still in her father's house. You must purge the evil from among you." There's no going on nowadays, you know? That's considered murder and is illegal. In our second spot, we have the rebellious kids. So it turns out that if your kids were causing you trouble, then they too could be kind of. Let me explain. Leviticus 29 says, "If there is anyone who curses his father or his mother, he shall surely be put to death. He has cursed his father or his mother. His blood guiltiness is upon him." Here's an entry that I found that kind of explains this all. Okay, and I quote, "If any man has a stubborn and rebellious son who will not obey his father or his mother, and when they chastise him, he will not even listen to them, then his father and mother shall seize him and bring him out to the elders of his city at the gateway of his hometown. And they shall say to the elders of his city, 'This son of ours is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey us. He is a glutton and a drunkard.' Then all the men of his city shall stone him to death." Again, it's illegal, so I'm glad we stopped the whole thing. And in our number 1 spot today, we have self-flagellation. Self-flagellation is the practice of beating or whipping your own skin, most often the skin on your back, until you draw blood. There's evidence of the ancient Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans engaging in these practices. But it became very popular during the 13th to 14th century. People engaged in this up until the 1960s. Nowadays, it's a very uncommon practice. But basically, early Christians believed that flagellation was a way to control your body and emotions, so you would focus more intently on worshiping God. Others believed that it was a way to show remorse for your skin. Back in the day with the Catholic Church, people would engage in this practice in public in groups to show their devotion to God. Sometimes there would be up to 10,000 participants. Nowadays, like I said, this practice is uncommon and people show their devotion to God in other ways. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And now, speaking of comments, let's move on to our comment shoutout portion. I'll be shouting out comments from the video Top 10 Bizarre Coincidences in History No One Can Explain, Part 3. Raymond Bachelor commented, 5 of my friends are born on my birthday and my next door neighbor's was also born, 14th of June. LOL, anyone else? That's weird that not 1, not 2, but 5 of your friends share the same birthday. Like, did you go around purposely looking for anyone that had their birthday on June 14th and you're like, yeah, you're our best friend now, okay? There's no June 13th, it's only June 14th. Matthew Welsh commented, you want to be a Powerpuff Girl? Yeah, I mean, I would. That suggestive winky face is making me think there's a double meaning to that. But honestly, being a Powerpuff Girl would be so sick. Are you kidding? Who would I be? Probably Blossom. Probably. And Darren Ridsdale commented, very addictive, Lindsay, from England. Oh, England, hello, mate. You guys definitely don't say that. Sorry. I really want to go to England, though. Oh, really badly. And just like the accents, ugh. Speak British to me, please. All right, guys, that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more amazing videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and I'll see you when I see ya. Bye.